Hi there, I'm Kevin Parson, and we're talking today all about mortgages. And with me is Kabeer Kher. Kabeer is an independent mortgage advisor with Yellow Brick Mortgages, and I keep getting asked questions when I go out to properties about what's happening in the mortgage market, and no better person to ask than Kabeer. So Kabeer, just tell me a little bit about what's happening in terms of mortgages. I understand that sort of interest rates might be fluctuating, and really what's the prospects for 2023?
Yeah, Kevin, so it's been a lot of change in the last 12 months, as you know. Obviously, we had a lot of turbulence in the market sort of last autumn. That's all really sort of calmed down now, and we've seen a lot of stabilisation in rates, and we've seen the 5-year and then 2-year fixed starting to come back down. Last time we spoke, obviously, we were talking about trackers and variables and how popular they'd become. We're starting to see now a bit of convergence between the trackers and the fixed rates, where obviously as the central bank keeps putting rates up, those trackers are getting closer to the fixed rates. So the fixed rates are starting to become more popular again, but in general, just a lot more stable than it was, second half of last year. So a lot more positivity in the marketplace and a lot more customers coming forward to do business.
Yeah. So you're finding actually that there are more buyers around at the moment now and investigating obviously what mortgages they can get, and I assume that in terms of affordability, that when people are looking to move, it's a bit easier in terms of, obviously I'll go back a couple of years with the austerity and everything else, that it's now an easier process?
Yes, absolutely. It's been quite surprising how well affordability has held up, to be fair, because as rates have gone up, obviously you would expect affordability to come down, but they've held up quite well. So on the residential side, affordability is still good, and as rates continue to fall, then we'll see that continue to improve. On the buy-to-let side, it's still quite tight, so a lot of people coming forward sort of shocked at the reduction in affordability in buy-to-let, but in terms of residential, it's been really good and really positive. So, and it seems to be going in one direction, which is lower rates meaning better affordability as we go forward.
And would you say that the clients that you're seeing, they're expecting what you're telling them, or they're actually surprised at in terms of affordability and also what it's going to cost them, that it's actually better than they thought it was going to be?
It's kind of a mixed bag. So I think the people that were sort of last time they sort of got advice, maybe it was 2 years ago, they're a little bit shocked at how much more expensive it is. But generally, people who are kind of used, a bit more experience in the market over the last 10 or 15 years, are still pleasantly surprised, because really when you look back over 15 or 20 years, it's still quite a positive marketplace to be in terms of affordability and in terms of rates. Historically speaking, we're not in that bad a place.
Yeah. And so really, and obviously if it's someone's just thinking about moving, you can give us some pointers as to what their budget's going to be, and then in turn they can then know what they can afford to buy.
Absolutely. So particularly first-time buyers, we spend a lot of time looking at affordability, doing a budget planner, and just explaining the whole process of buying and what's involved and all the steps involved, because it is a complicated process here in the UK, much more than in other countries. It tends to take at least 3 months to buy a house. So we try to help people understand the steps in the process, and first part of that is obviously understanding affordability before we even look at rates, and then rates can change, but generally speaking it's just helpful now at the minute that they've stabilised, because last year it was there was a period of time when it was difficult, when you would sort of give somebody one rate and then they'd come back a month later and it was totally different. Now we're seeing people coming back a month later and actually it's very similar to what they was. So much more stable market, and certainly as inflation continues to fall, then the outlook should get better. Touch wood, it keeps falling, and then things will get better.
That's got Kabeer. I think that's a real good insight, and sort of thanks so much for that. Of course, if you are thinking about moving, or you're curious about sort of what your mortgage ability is and so what you can afford, what you can actually borrow, then please don't hesitate to give Kabeer a call. We're going to put the number sort of on the screen here so that you can contact him direct. And watch this space. Sort of, I would just like to say also, if you this will go onto our YouTube channel, so if you want to like the Parson Estate Agents YouTube channel, because there's more of these videos coming up, and then of course you'll then get an automatic notification. So look forward to speaking to you both. We'll look forward to seeing you soon. So from both myself and Kabeer, thanks very much for joining us, and look forward to speaking to you soon.